Good morning, students. Today we are going to read our next poem, The Face That Launched a Thousand Ships, a poem by Christopher Marlowe. First of all, let's talk about Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe was born on 26th February 1564 and died on 30th May 1593. Means he lived a very short span of life, though there was much speculations about his death. Even the way in which he died was also much disputed, and he died at very early age. Even at that, some people, because no authentic data was found about his death, about his cremation and all these things, so it was a matter of debate. He was an English poet, playwright and translator, and people, as I have just said, it is also believed that he was a great influence on Shakespeare. Shakespeare was greatly influenced by him, and even some people, as I have told you, that his death was a matter of debate. So some people even believe that he has faked his death, and later on he started writing as with the name of Shakespeare. Though some critics dispute this idea that the person who has written the dramas of Marlowe and the person who has written Shakespearean dramas, they can't be the same person. But still, the influence of the writing style of Marlowe is seen much in Shakespeare's plays, and even in his plays, Shakespeare has used and many lines from Marlowe as a tribute to him. He was the first person who has used blank verse, and at that time, for the use of blank verse, he was, we can say, criticized by the contemporaries of him. But later on, the blank verse became the standard for that period. Means Shakespeare has also used it extensively. And the themes which Marlowe used, they were humanitarian and realistic kind of themes. His characters were very towering kind of personalities, and it is said that the theatre or the drama company which acted the play of Marlowe, the lead character of that company was 6 feet 4 inches tall and a very big physique man, and just to shoot the character to him, perhaps Marlowe has created very towering protagonist in his plays. His plays are abound in violence, cruelty and bloodshed, and which was obviously according to the demand of the times, but still too much violence, too much cruelty, too much bloodshed was there in abundance in the plays of Marlowe. He has written 6 plays: Dido, the Queen of Carthage; Tamburlaine, the name, you might have heard the name of तैमूर लंग, एक किंग था तैमूर लंग, उसके बारे में अगर आपने सुना हो यूनानी एक्सपीडिशंस में, उसके बारे में था. द ज्यू ऑफ माल्टा, डॉक्टर फास्टस, एडवर्ड सेकंड एंड द मैसेकर ऑफ पेरिस. These were the 6 plays which were penned by Marlowe. Dr. Faustus, which was enacted in 1592, just a year before his death. This play is a bit important for us because the current poem which we are going to read is taken from this play. If we talk about the poetry of Marlowe, then he has first thing which came out was Amores. It was a Latin elegiac couplets translated by Marlowe. Then the Passionate Shepherd to His Love. It was a rural background poem, and which was very famous. It came out in 1588. Then Hero and Leander, it was a long poem, and it was left unfinished by Marlowe, and which was later finished by some of his friends. Pharsalia, again, this was a book first. It was by Lucan, the Greek poet. It was again the translation by Christopher Marlowe. Now, the face that launched 1,000 ships. This poem is an extract from the play Dr. Faustus. So, to understand this poem totally, first we have to understand the many things which are related with this poem. And so, first of all, let's talk about Dr. Faustus. This drama, Dr. Faustus, is about a person whose name was Dr. Faustus, and he was a professor at the University of Wittenberg, France, and he was a very scholarly person. And this play is about his downfall, about the tragedy of Dr. Faustus. In this play, what happens that this person, Dr. Faustus, he was a very learned man, and he has mastered all the subjects and all the arts. And one day, while he was sitting in his study, then he was discussing this thing with some of his friends. And one of his friends suggested him that now the only thing which is left for you is magic, witchcraft, necromancy, all these things. यानी ये जो काला जादू है ना, जादू और ये जो चीज़ें थी, ये सिर्फ बची हुई थी. ऐसी एक सलाह, ऐसा एक सजेशन जो था वो क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो को दिया. एंड मार्लो नहीं सॉरी डॉक्टर फॉस्टस को ये सजेशन जो था वो उनके फ्रेंड्स ने दिया. एंड डॉक्टर फॉस्ट इन अ जेस्टिंग मूड, है ना, मजाक के मूड में, ही हैज agreed to this thing, and he called two persons who were related with magic or witchcraft, and he started practicing it with them. And in this act, what happens that a devil appeared there, whose name was Mephistopheles, and that devil Mephistopheles was the messenger of Lucifer. Lucifer was the hell god, है ना, नरक का जो देवता था, जिसे हम लोग यमराज के नाम से जानते हैं. सो इन दैट वे that servant of Lucifer came to Dr. Faustus, and he asked for what I can do for you. And he wanted to have something, to achieve something, to do some services for himself. But Mephistopheles said that, okay, I am not able to do all these things because I am only a servant to Lucifer. But yes, I can tell all these things to Lucifer, God Lucifer, and if he says, if he agrees, then I will serve you, I will be your servant. So later on what happens that Mephistopheles comes back and he says that Lucifer is agree to give whatever you want, but on a condition. And what is that condition? That condition is this, that you have to write a contract with your own blood. And what is that contract? That for a certain period of time you will be given whatever you want, but after the expiry of that period your soul will be taken away to hell, not to heaven. Means your soul will be a property of Lucifer, and in return of that selling of your soul or the contracting of your soul to Lucifer, you will be given all the worldly pleasures and all the worldly wishes, whatever you want. So in a sense we can say that he agrees to this for the sake of those worldly pleasures. Dr. Faustus agrees to him, and this drama revolves around those many things, many works. He does many journeys, he asks for many books to read, he asks for many things to do for himself, and later on his ultimate fall. So before knowing about this thing, that Lucifer and that Mephistopheles and that contract of soul, let's talk a little bit about what this Lucifer mean, what Mephistopheles mean, what the contract of soul mean, है ना। इसके लिए हम जो क्रिश्चियन माइथोलॉजी या जो हम कहें ग्रीक और यूरोपियन जो माइथोलॉजी है उसके अनुसार क्या है कि ये नरक और स्वर्ग की जो थियरी है वो कुछ ऐसे थी कि देयर वाज हेवन ओनली, है ना। पहले स्वर्ग होता था, ऑल द inhabitants of that place are good, है ना, वो सभी गॉड थे। one day what happens that there was a revolution, and due to that revolution the god has overthrown some of the gods, है ना, including his chief of army, है ना, उनका जो सेनापति था जिसको आज हम यमराज के नाम से, ये मतलब एक माइथोलॉजिकल स्टोरी है, एक माइथोलॉजिकल बिलीफ है कि स्वर्ग में क्या हुआ था कि एक बार लड़ाई हुई। लड़ाई क्यों हुई कि जो स्वर्ग का सेनापति था, जिसको यहाँ हम लूसीफर के नाम से संबोधित कर रहे हैं, कहीं हम यमराज के नाम से जानते हैं ना, और शैतान के नाम से या सैटन के नाम से भी हम उन्हें जानते हैं। तो क्या हुआ कि उन्होंने एक लड़ाई की भगवान के खिलाफ कि वाई यू आर ओनली गॉड, क्योंकि देखो क्या था, जो देवता थे वो सभी अमर थे, मर तो वो सकते नहीं थे। अब जब चूंकि वो मर नहीं सकते थे तो क्या हो रहा था भाई, हमेशा हमेशा के लिए सदियों से युगों से स्वर्ग का जो मालिक था, स्वर्ग का जो किंग था, वो कौन था? गॉड। और सेनापति जो था वो हमेशा से उसकी सर्विस करनी पड़ेगी उसको। तो क्या हुआ कि जो स्वर्ग के सेनापति थे उन्होंने ये चाहा कि मुझे भी किंग बना दिया जाए, है ना। अब उनकी ये जो डिमांड थी कि मुझे भी किंग बना दिया जाए, उसको भगवान ने इनकार कर दिया, एंड देयर वाज अ फाइट इन द हेवन, एंड अल्टीमेटली आफ्टर दैट फाइट व्हाट हैपेंस that the god has thrown Satan or Lucifer and his people out of heaven, and they were sent to hell. Hell was created a kind of prison for these people, and later on when this person Lucifer and Satan, they decided that we cannot win the war against God. So later on God has created man, so they started a kind of war, an indirect war against God by capturing the people, the man to his side, है ना। और उस प्रयास में, उस अभियान के तहत ये था कि लूसीफर जो था उसने कहा कि हम आपको सारे वर्ल्डली प्लेजर्स, सारे एंजॉयमेंट्स देंगे, लेकिन बशर्ते यू हैव टू गिव अस योर सोल, मतलब आफ्टर दिस पीरियड आपका जो सोल है वो लूसीफर के पास रहेगी, यानी हेल में रहेगी, और इस तरह से गॉड के एक अच्छे आदमी का नुकसान होगा। सो दैट इज द मेन थीम ऑफ दैट play. Now in our next lecture we will talk more about the poem, the theme of the poem. Thank you.